9 years after the BL Classic SOTUS, KristSingto are back with a bang. In the X morning, their chemistry is better than ever, and that shouldn't actually surprise anyone. They have an insanely rare connection that screams destiny. And if that wasn't enough, their horoscope is packed with multiple rare and powerful patterns. Let's dive into the astrology behind their relationship and find out if the universe ships them too. Hello stars, welcome back to my channel where I analyze the relationship horoscopes of your favorite BL couples. If you are new here, my name is Beatrice, I'm a professional astrologer, and today I'll tell you what makes the relationship between Krist and Singto so special. But if you could wait so many years to see them acting together again, please wait a few more minutes before we move over to the horoscope. First, I want to address some comments that were posted under one of my videos, spreading false information about the compatibility between people. I don't want you to ruin your love life because of misinformation or believing some nonsense, so please let me tell you briefly how love horoscopes work. If you're already happily married, congratulations, and feel free to skip this part. If you are like me, when you have a crush or fall in love, you want to know if you are compatible with the other person. And what do? You read in a magazine or online about the compatibility between zodiac signs. I did that too when I was younger, but now I know that the zodiac sign is not the most important thing to look for. But why do I even bring this up? What happened? According to the comments under my video, the two actors that I was talking about can't be that close because one is a Leo and the other one is a Virgo. Aside from the fact that these comments were under my first video so far about a couple that has actually confirmed that they are dating, their zodiac signs almost don't matter. I'm sure these comments were not posted with any bad intention, it's just that this misconception is widely spread. That's why I'm taking a few minutes now to explain it. When you first meet someone, you are very lucky if you even find out what their zodiac sign is. Unless you are an astrology freak like me, you will most probably not ask them about their ascendant, also called rising sun, or time of birth. So the zodiac sign is the first step to see if you are compatible. And it works up until a certain point, especially if both of you are younger. It's true that there are signs that get along very well and other signs that can't stand each other. So this compatibility thing is real, but it's not the most important one to look for when it comes to a relationship. First of all, because our personalities are not defined only by our zodiac sign. Our ascendant, for example, will influence us more and more as we reach our 30s. That means that even if your zodiac sign was perfectly compatible with that of your loved one, as you grow older, your rising signs might clash. Back to the Virgo and Leo dating. We don't know their ascendants. Maybe the Virgo has a Leo ascendant, or the Leo has the ascendant in an earth sign, which would be compatible with Virgo. But even more important, and that's what my analysis showed, their planets and other points in the chart made good connections. That's in my opinion the most important, how the two persons' planets and other important points connect with each other. You can't say anything about a couple's compatibility without analyzing their synastry and composite chart like I do in these videos. You will see a little bit later why both of these couple horoscopes are important. So please, if you want a serious relationship or to marry someone, don't ever rely only on the zodiac sign. After seeing these comments, I'm thinking more and more about maybe organizing an astrology course for beginners focused especially on love horoscopes. I could teach you how to read them like how I do it in my videos. This way you'll be able to make your own compatibility horoscope. Would that be something interesting for you? Please let me know in the comments. You don't have to write anything. To keep it all anonymous, I will post a comment where I ask if you'd be interested. Just like that comment if you think that such a course would be a good idea. I'm done preaching now, so let's get back to Krist and Singto. As I always do, I start with their individual horoscopes, because they show us what they look for in a partner, how they act in a relationship, and so on. After that, I analyze their synastry, which reveals details about their compatibility, and their composite chart, which is the horoscope of the relationship itself. Krist loves with his whole heart, but also with mystery, intensity, and a strong sense of faith. He was born on the 18th of October 1995 with the sun in Libra, the sign of love, beauty, and balance. The sun shows us our core personality, and for Krist that means he's charming, romantic, and always searching for true partnership. But this is not just any Libra sun. It's sitting right next to the North Node and the asteroid Hera. The North Node points to our destiny, and Hera is the goddess of marriage. So Krist's whole life seems to be pulling him toward deep, meaningful relationships. Love for him isn't just a side story, it's the main plot. Still, love isn't simple. His sun makes a difficult angle to Uranus and Neptune, two planets that bring sudden changes and dreams. Uranus is the planet of surprises, and Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, and idealism. Because of this, Krist might sometimes fall for people who seem perfect at first, only to realize later that things weren't what they seemed. Or he might meet someone in a very unexpected, even magical way, but then struggle with keeping the connection grounded in real life. Krist has the moon in Leo. The moon represents our emotions, our deepest needs, and shows what makes us feel safe. Leo is a fire sign full of confidence, drama, and a big heart. Krist wants to feel special in love. He needs attention and warmth, and he loves grand gestures, both giving and receiving them. He probably loves deeply and proudly and might sometimes feel hurt if he doesn't get the same kind of passion back. His Venus and Mars are both in Scorpio, one of the most intense signs when it comes to love and passion. Venus is the planet of love and attraction, and Mars is the planet of desire and action. With both in Scorpio, Krist feels love and lust with his whole soul. Scorpio doesn't play games. Once he's in, he's all in. And with Pluto, the planet of transformation, sitting next to Mars, his feelings can be overwhelming, even for him. Love changes him. Desire transforms him. People might find him magnetic, mysterious, and will never forget him. Pluto's placement in his chart is very interesting and powerful. It sits at 29 degrees in Scorpio, and the 29th degree is a critical degree because its energy is even more intense than usual. Pluto is the planet of transformation, power, and deep emotional change. Scorpio is its home sign, known for passion, jealousy, secrets, and strong feelings. This gives Krist a powerful presence in love. When he falls for someone, it's not just a crush, it's a deep pull that can change his whole world. He's drawn to real, honest, intense emotions. Games, shallow flings, or fake connections don't work for him. He wants truth even if it hurts. He wants loyalty even if it's complicated. Because Pluto is so strong in his chart, love might not always be easy for Krist. He may go through emotional ups and downs or feel like love breaks him open before it builds him back up. But this is also his strength. He's not afraid of the hard stuff. In fact, the more powerful the connection, the more alive he feels. Love for Krist is never boring. It's deep, passionate, and unforgettable. There's also a deep emotional side to him. His Black Moon Lilith, a point in our chart that shows our wild, untamed desires, is in Cancer, the sign of home and emotions. Lilith in Cancer often hides emotional pain under a soft, caring shell. This part of him craves tenderness, but is also fiercely protective of his feelings. Juno, the asteroid of long-term relationships, is in Sagittarius, the sign of freedom and truth. But here's the twist, Lilith and Juno are in opposition. That means that Krist might often feel torn between the comfort of emotional closeness and the excitement of freedom and adventure in relationships. There's a lot going on in his mind too. Mercury, the planet of thinking and communication, is also in Libra like his sun. So he speaks sweetly, thinks about fairness, and probably loves deep conversations about love and life. Mercury is joined by several important asteroids: Chiron, representing our wounds but also healing, Fortuna, luck, Sappho, poetic love, Cupido, desire, and Nike, victory. Krist's way of speaking might heal others, attract them, and charm them. He might be lucky in love, but only after facing some inner pain and growth. And lastly, water is slightly stronger in his chart than other elements. Water rules emotions, dreams, and deep feelings. Even when he seems cool and calm on the outside, Krist is full of emotional depth. He might not always show it, but he feels everything intensely. When he loves with his whole being. It's not just romance, it's a soul level connection he is looking for. Besides the emotional part, his birth chart shows that he likes persons who have an athletic build, have dark hair, and maybe a darker skin complexion. He looks for a confident but not arrogant partner, someone who is quick-witted, charming, and not afraid to flirt. He's very attracted to people with a high sexual energy, as sex is very important for him in a relationship. Last but not least, he wants to be proud of his partner, so he will probably fall in love with someone who is successful or maybe even famous. Singto has a heart full of fire, a mind full of feelings, and a love story that's anything but ordinary. He was born on the 28th of July 1998 with the sun in Leo. By the way, did you know that the name Singto means lion in Thai? It's associated with people who have a bold or strong character, and that describes our Singto perfectly. Leo is the sign of confidence and passion, so he is someone who shines naturally. The sun shows us who we are at the core, and for Singto it means he's strong, warm, proud, and has a deep need to love and be loved in return. He probably enjoys romance that feels a little bit like a movie, bright, dramatic, and full of emotion. But his sun forms a challenging angle to Jupiter, the planet of growth and exaggeration, which sits in Scorpio. This can make his feelings even bigger than usual. He might fall fast and feel everything with intense passion, and sometimes that passion might lead to big ups and downs. Underneath all that fire is a fast beating heart. His moon, which represents emotions and comfort, is in Aries, a bold and fearless sign. This means that when Singto feels something, he feels it immediately. He's not one to hide his feelings or wait around. He's open, direct, and sometimes even impulsive in love, but also incredibly loyal when he has a partner. Communication is key in his relationships. Singto has Mercury in Cancer. Mercury is the planet of thinking and communication, and Cancer is the sign of emotions and protection. This means he speaks from the heart. Although otherwise he is quite bold, when it comes to deep feelings, he might be a bit shy at first, but once he feels safe, he expresses love in a caring and tender way. He probably likes writing love letters, leaving post-its with thoughtful messages, and he remembers the little things that matter. But Mercury is in opposition to both Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn. Uranus is the planet of surprises, and Neptune rules dreams and illusions. So sometimes his thoughts and feelings might be all over the place. He might overthink things, worry about saying the wrong thing, or fall for someone he dreams about, only to later wonder if it was all in his head. Fortunately, Mercury also makes some beautiful connections. It forms a helpful angle to Venus in Virgo, showing that Singto is thoughtful in love. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, and attraction. In Virgo, it makes him very attentive. He shows love through the little things like helping someone out, being there, or remembering their favorite snack. Mercury also forms a positive aspect to his North Node, a point in the chart that shows our destiny or our path in life. This means that when he speaks from his heart, he moves closer to the kind of love and life he's meant to have. This aspect is also a plus when it comes to his career and speaking before the cameras or in public. But even someone as sweet as Singto has a wild side. His Mars, the planet of desire and action, is in Gemini. This brings curiosity and playfulness to his love life. He likes to flirt, talk, joke, and learn new things with his partner. Sometimes he might feel pulled in different directions or get bored easily, especially since his Mars makes a square to Venus. This angle can make love feel confusing. He might want comfort and stability, but also excitement and change. Finding the balance between both is one of his biggest love lessons. His Lilith, a symbol of raw, deep emotions and hidden desires, is in Taurus. This means that even when he seems calm or collected, there's a part of him that craves touch, loyalty, and emotional security. Lilith makes a helpful sextile to Saturn, the planet of structure, which means he can find a way to ground even his wildest emotions if he gives himself time and patience. When it comes to long-term love, we look at Juno, the asteroid of soulmates and commitment. Singto has Juno in Libra, the sign of harmony and romance. He's meant for love that feels fair, beautiful, and balanced. But with Juno in a tough angle to both Uranus and Neptune, he might sometimes doubt if real love can be as perfect as he imagines. Still, Juno makes a flowing trine to the asteroid Fortuna linked to luck and destiny, so his soulmate may show up in a way that feels like fate, and this could happen in an environment related to arts. And finally, water is the strongest element in his chart. Water signs are emotional, intuitive, and loving. Even though he might not always say how much he cares, Singto feels everything deeply. When he falls in love, it's not just about sparks or butterflies. It's about real connection. He wants a love that grows roots, touches the soul, and makes him feel truly seen. Krist loves deeply and seriously, while Singto brings playfulness and warmth. Krist feels things very intensely and wants emotional depth. Singto adds lightness and curiosity, helping Krist open up. One of their strongest connection is that Singto's sun and Krist's moon are both in Leo, the same sign. This creates a natural connection between who Singto is and how Krist feels. They also share something special. Water is slightly dominant in both of their charts. Water is the element of emotions, dreams, and intuition, and this quiet connection might be what draws them to each other. Even if they express love differently, they both feel a lot. Their differences help them grow, and their similarities make them feel safe together. Their relationship can evolve beautifully if they learn to meet in the middle, and together they can build something deep and lasting. This is what I can tell you just by looking at their individual birth charts. But to know more about their compatibility, let's analyze their synastry. Krist and Singto have a fascinating connection, one that blends intensity, support, and the touch of destiny. Whether they are just friends or something more, their bond runs deeper than it might appear on the surface. There's a lot of emotional energy between them, and their charts suggest that they not only influence each other strongly, but may also change each other over time. Right away, one of the most powerful connections is between Krist's Sun and North Node and Singto's asteroid Juno. The Sun shows our core self, and the North Node points to our destiny or life path. Juno is the asteroid linked to marriage, long-term partnership, loyalty, and what we seek in a soulmate. So when Krist's sun and life direction align with Singto's Juno, it can feel like Krist is everything Singto naturally looks for in a deep, lasting bond. Whether they are aware of it or not, this creates a strong sense of meant to be, like they just fit into each other's lives in an important way. They were destined to meet each other. There's also a lovely flow between Krist's Sun and North Node and Singto's asteroid Fortuna, which is about luck and positive fate. When they are together, they might feel like doors open more easily or like things just fall into place. There's a gentle push toward growth and shared purpose, and that makes their bond feel meaningful even in small moments. That could also be an indicator that they can earn money working together. Their emotional connection is also quite special. While we don't know their exact birth time and thus the placement of the moon with 100% certainty, there's a strong possibility that their moons, symbols of feelings and comfort, form a trine, which is a soft flowing connection. If that's the case, it means they naturally understand each other emotionally. They feel safe being themselves around each other, and that makes their bond very nurturing. Communication seems to flow well too. Singto's sun makes a supportive connection with Krist's Mercury, the planet of thinking and talking, as well as a group of asteroids linked to love, Cupido, healing, Chiron, beauty, Sappho, luck, Fortuna, and success, Nike. This suggests that Krist feels seen and encouraged when he talks to Singto. Singto probably inspires Krist to express himself more openly, and there's a sense that their conversations could be healing, creative, and even romantic at times, whether or not they act on those feelings. But not everything is smooth. Krist's Saturn, the planet of limits, responsibility, and life lessons, makes some tough aspects to Singto's Mars and Venus. Mars is about action and desire, while Venus is about love and attraction. These Saturn connections can sometimes feel like one person is putting on the brakes or creating tension. Krist might seem too serious to Singto at times, and Singto might feel judged or held back. These moments of tension can lead to frustration, but they can also push both of them to grow up emotionally and work through real life challenges. Fortunately, Saturn also makes a strong trine to Singto's Mercury, so serious conversations can help them reconnect when things feel off. There's also another layer of depth in their physical and emotional bond. Krist's Venus, the planet of love and affection, forms a gentle connection with Singto's Chiron, which represents emotional wounds and healing. This suggests that Krist's love or friendship can touch something deep in Singto, helping him heal old pains. It's a soft, quiet kind of love, one that doesn't need big words, but that feels powerful in the heart. And then comes the intensity. Krist has a powerful Mars-Pluto conjunction, which brings deep passion, drive, and transformation. When this lines up with Singto's Pluto, the planet of deep change and emotional power, it creates a very intense energy. Even if they are just friends, there's something magnetic and hard to ignore between them. They might challenge each other, push each other, or even go through big changes just by being in each other's lives. If they are more than friends, this connection brings a very strong sexual energy, but would also make them quite jealous. Singto's Pluto also makes a helpful connection to Krist's Uranus and Neptune, meaning that he could help Krist turn dreams into reality or inspire him to grow in creative, surprising ways. Overall, this connection is rich with emotion, meaning, and soul-level lessons. They may have moments of challenge, but they also have many opportunities for growth, healing, and deep understanding. Whether they stay friends, become something more, or go through different phases together, their charts show that they each play a powerful role in the other's journey. Moving over to the composite chart, and now you'll see why earlier I said that it's important to analyze both the synastry and the composite chart. While KristSingto's synastry is good, it didn't seem spectacular to me. But what is truly spectacular and shows an amazing connection between them is their composite chart. It tells a beautiful and complex story, one that may not be obvious from the outside but feels fated on a deep level. While their individual charts show more emotion and sensitivity, with water being the main element in both, when they come together, their shared energy becomes more grounded and real. Earth becomes the strongest element in their composite chart. This means that together they bring out each other's practical side. Whether they are building a friendship, a creative partnership, or something romantic, this is a connection rooted in commitment, stability, and effort. It may not start with a spark, since fire is a little low in this chart, but once lit, it can burn steadily and last a long time. At the heart of their shared chart is the Sun in Virgo, the sign of care, detail, and devotion. The Sun in the composite chart shows the soul of the relationship. In Virgo, the love between Krist and Singto may express itself through small gestures, helping each other and quietly showing up again and again. Virgo love isn't flashy, but it's incredibly loyal and sincere. Their bond might grow stronger through shared goals, mutual support, and working on something together. So please give them more series together. But the Sun doesn't stand alone. It sits opposite Saturn in Pisces, and both are connected by hard angles to Eros and Amor, asteroids linked to erotic love and romantic affection. Together, these form a powerful pattern called a T-square. A T-square creates pressure and tension, but it can also create incredible growth. With Saturn involved, the relationship may have had a serious storm from the start. Saturn is the planet of commitment and life lessons. It can bring delays, emotional walls, or the sense that one person has to carry more of the emotional weight. But Saturn also offers maturity. If Krist and Singto stay open and honest, they can turn hard times into strength. Eros and Amor bring passion and sweetness into the mix, but also remind them that love isn't always simple. This could be a connection where love sometimes feels like work, but also like something worth working for. The composite moon in Gemini adds a much lighter note. The moon shows how the relationship feels, its emotional tone. Gemini is curious, witty, and playful. Together, KristSingto might laugh a lot, talk about everything, and never run out of things to say. Depending on their time of birth, the moon may also be close to Black Moon Lilith, a point in the chart linked to raw, honest emotions and untamed desires. This gives their emotional connection a bit of edge. They may feel safe enough to show each other the parts of themselves they usually hide. That can be healing or it can be intense, maybe even both. Composite Mercury, the planet of communication, sits in Leo, also right next to Ceres, the asteroid of nurturing. So their words can be healing, warm, and deeply protective. However, this duo in Leo also makes a tense angle to Jupiter, Juno, and Pluto in Scorpio. This can bring intense conversations, jealousy, power struggles, or strong opinions. But it also means the words matter deeply between them. What they say or don't say can shape the entire relationship. Composite Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and connection, is in Libra, the sign that loves harmony, fairness, and romance. This means that KristSingto care deeply about keeping things peaceful and kind between them. They probably enjoy spending time together in a balanced way, sharing, supporting each other, and avoiding drama whenever possible. Their composite Mars is in Virgo. Mars is the planet of passion, action, and desire. When it's in Virgo, it brings careful energy into the relationship. Together, they may take a practical approach to solving problems and building their connection. They may not be overly dramatic with their emotions, but they show love by doing thoughtful things for each other, helping each other out, and noticing the small details that matter. Mars also makes a soft angle to the North Node in Scorpio. The North Node represents their shared destiny or what they are meant to grow into together. Scorpio is the sign that dives deep. It rules intimacy, trust, power, and transformation. This connection suggests that they have the potential to become a very strong team, a power couple. When they work together, they can face tough moments and come out stronger. There's emotional growth in this bond. But there's also some tension. Mars forms a challenging angle to Black Moon Lilith in Gemini. Lilith often shows where hidden emotion, fears, or rebellious energy lives. In Gemini, it can mean quick changes or emotional restlessness. This tension could make their connection feel unstable at times. Maybe one of them wants more freedom or avoids deep talks, while the other wants to work things out directly. It can also bring some strong attraction, even if it's not always easy to handle. Now we're moving on to what makes their composite chart truly spectacular. It contains many very rare patterns, not just one, but several. These patterns link the planets in their chart together, and in a way they also hold the relationship together. Even if they fight or don't see each other for longer periods of time, it's my opinion that Krist and Singto will always find their way back to each other. The stars pull them together. First, they have two kite patterns which are rare and very special. A kite pattern brings together tension and talent, struggle and breakthrough. In one kite, the focal point are Jupiter and Juno in Scorpio. Jupiter is the planet of optimism, growth, and expansion, and Juno is the asteroid of commitment. In Scorpio, these two speak of deep love, loyalty, and growth through emotional honesty. This kite says that their connection has the potential to become something truly meaningful and transforming, especially if they are brave enough to be vulnerable. The second kite has Parasatina, the asteroid of wisdom, strategy, and clarity, as its focus. Together, these two kites suggest that this relationship isn't about feelings. It's about becoming better, braver, and wiser through each other. There's also a powerful and rare shape called Thor's hammer in their chart. It connects Mars in Virgo, showing the way they take action and express desire, and Black Moon Lilith, hidden desires and instincts, with Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn, dreams, change, and idealism. This formation can bring intense energy and emotional explosions, but also powerful breakthroughs. If something in their relationship ever feels like it has to change, this is the energy behind that feeling. They might shake each other out of comfort zones, helping each other grow in ways they didn't expect. Another rare formation is the Yod or finger of God. The focal planet is Saturn in Pisces, again showing that this connection comes with big life lessons. Saturn is in a sign associated with the psyche, with dreams, and with arts, especially music. And it's pushed forward or supported by two other energies. Venus and the asteroid Valentine, love and romance in Libra, Krist's zodiac sign, and Cupido and Fortuna, desire and destiny, in Leo, Singto's sign. This yacht brings unusual fated experiences. It can make them feel like we didn't choose this, but here we are. This could mean that Krist and Singto were brought together for a reason, even if it wasn't what either expected. Last but not least, there's a soft, beautiful pattern called a small talent triangle involving Venus and Valentine in Libra, romantic love, Eros and Amor in Gemini, playful passion, and Cupido and Fortuna in Leo, desire and luck. This gives their relationship a sparkle. When they are close, things flow beautifully. There's joy, chemistry, attraction, and shared sweetness that makes everything feel lighter. This is a pattern that helps them a lot when it comes to their shared career in the entertainment industry. Their chemistry can't be ignored, and the public loves them as a duo. All in all, Krist and Singto's composite chart is rare and full of promise. If they are friends, it's a kind of friendship that changes you. If they become lovers, it's the kind of love that takes time, effort, and trust, but that has the potential to last and to matter. That's everything the stars revealed today about Krist and Singto. What do you think? Soulmates, besties, lovers, or something else? Let's talk in the comments. And don't miss my next videos. I will talk about Gemini 4th in War and about Yan Xuning and the You from Revenged Love. To make sure you won't miss them, subscribe to my channel and turn the notifications on. Until the next time, shine bright like the stars.